Hi, I'm Red. Before we start, please go to the pinned comment and like my Twitter post so maybe the devs will take notice and give me alpha access so I can make cool priest videos. So the big change is they're removing healer interrupts from every healer except for Resto Shaman. Resto Shaman wind shear cooldown will now be 30 seconds. And one thing to note is they've made interrupt durations last 2 seconds longer for each interrupt. So interrupts are going to be even more powerful, and so Resto Shaman is still going to be the only one with that access. I'll explain why I don't think this is the biggest deal in the world at the end of the video if you want to look at my chart here. Let's talk about the rationale. Healing can be a stressful role when you must manage several things at once: your own healing abilities, your team's health, and enemy actions. We feel that asking the healer to monitor the cast bars of things they do not have targeted while properly using their interrupts is asking too much. I kind of agree. I think it's just like it's a lot. It's like I've always said, like, you know, having to like do an interrupt or use a CC more than twice in 30 seconds as a healer, I feel like that's kind of the sweet spot. More than twice in 30 seconds, two globals out of 30, having to like do a stop. It does feel like a lot. There's a lot of healers that say, I just like priest because like I don't have to worry about interrupts. I don't get flamed when something gets kicked. Like I might get flamed because I don't have a kick, but I'm not gonna get flamed because I didn't kick, right? What do you think, Dratnos?
I do think that most healers would rather not have the interrupt be something that they, is part of their responsibility.
True.
But it feels worse to feel like, okay, if I'm not playing a Resto Shaman and I don't have this interrupt, my group's gonna die, right? Or like just watching casts go off that you are powerless to stop, right? You see the cast coming, there's nothing you can do about it. Maybe the rest of your group's already kicked, maybe you're not in comms with them, and then it goes off and it kills everybody, and you're like, man, I really wish I had a kick here. I think Blizzard definitely there's multiple things that they've bitten off here that are all going to require them really chilling with how much damage interruptible casts do and how frequent interruptible casts go. But I think if they do that successfully, then this is a good place to take away complexity from healers.
That's correct. So it all boils down to whether Blizzard can effectively scale how much damage like bolt casts are going to do. So right now it's like on a 12, like a 12 mob is going to do like what, 30, 40, even 50% of your health. And I think if it was like, 10 to 25% on like a 10 or a 12, and then, it got up to 70% on a 20, something like that. Like, I don't know if they need to add special scaling for those particular casts or add a cap, perhaps. Like, maybe it just caps out on level 17. You get to level 17 and it's the same damage on bolts on as it would be on level 16. Like, that could be a way to do it. Like, infinite scaling is fun, but it becomes impossible to live, right? And players have fun when the infinite scaling that they're mashing their head against the wall is how much damage they can deal. That's what players like really have fun. That's what the DPS players love. And healers hate impossible tasks. When there's a challenge that you can realistically conquer and if the damage capped but like mob health still was going up, so you know the choke point was how much damage you could do. That's what a lot of Mythic Plusers ask for. They say, hey, we don't want the seasons to be decided on, do I have enough max health? Like, that's the one thing that people really, really hate, which is why Oracle Disc Priest was so popular in Season 2. Anyway, so I wanted to talk about like the landscape of healer CC. So this is the Midnight CC abilities. So these two columns are the AoE CCs. Okay, so you see Druids, Monks, and Evokers have two AoE CCs of varying cooldown. And then Paladin, Priest, and Shaman, they just have the one AoE CC. Then every single healer has a single target CC, except for Disc Priest has nothing, because Blizzard doesn't want to help Disc Priest. They say you have Powered Shield, you get nothing. Um, so every single healer has a single target CC. Maim is kind of a fake single target CC, but it is on the tree still, so I'm going to count it. It requires a combo point and you to be in cap form. So kick instead of a single target CC. Like, how much more powerful is kick than a single target CC? I think it's like probably twice, if not three times, as powerful as a single target CC. So, like, Shamans still do have a very strong, uh, you know, utility suite. Um, I think Druid has a they get 3 AoE CCs per minute, and then that's the most of any other healer. Like priests get two, monks and invokers have 2.5, and like Druid just has a very strong CC suite. So Druid is going to probably be the best CC healer, and Shaman might be up there tied with Druid because having Incap Roar on a 30-second cooldown and then Typhoon and Ursul's, like that seems like very, very strong in comparison to the other healers with a minute and 20-second thing, and then a Ring of Peace, which is kind of a fake interrupt because if you can use it, but like it disrupts your team too much. But with the Ursuls plus Typhoon, like that doesn't really disrupt your team. It's a very helpful thing. So I think Druid is going to be king of uh, crowd control for next expansion if things go unchanged. Then Shaman will probably be second best. Then you got Monk, probably the third best. Then Evoker and Holy Priest and Paladin are probably in that B tier. Then you'll have a Disc Priest at the very bottom.